All right.
The Tiger Woods ones is so epic.
You ready to go?
Oh yeah,
That's so epic.
the Tiger Woods one was
Tiger Woods
hilarious.
was amazing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
go.
Yeah, we ready.
All right, episode 119. Yeah, it 119. It 119.
It ain't gonna go, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
119. Check out podcast 119. Here we go.
Me and my drink.
SoundCloud.
Hello. How did that happen?
Head fake.
Me and
Is
my
that a pump
Teddy getting all ready.
Did we? Let's try this again. Episode 119. Let's go.
Me and my Teddy.
Yo, what the fuck?
Oh,
Or
Okay,
not.
this shit ain't working.
me and
So,
my
I
Teddy
guess
getting
we
all
ain't
ready.
This motherfucker. You on strike or something, homie?
Okay, sounds like it's in now.
He's on strike. He's like, fuck this shit. We ain't working
I
today.
might keep all this in the beginning.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go.
All of a sudden.
All of a sudden you want to work, nigga. All right. Motherfucker, all right.
He's got his own mind.
I'm keeping all of that.
Motherfucker went on strike like the Mexicans at that factory. Shout outs to them. They showed unity.
That was motherfucking.
That's unity, nigga. Niggas too scared to do that. And let's be frank about that. Niggas wouldn't dare doing that.
Shit, you right.
Niggas be too scared. Yeah,
Technical
man.
difficulties or not?
Just a little
Hello.
bit. Just a little bit. Just a little
Hella
bit.
not Hulk. Hulk not wanting to come out.
No.
no.
Come on,
No,
theme song.
no.
Come up.
No.
Take your ass out. All right.
Maybe tomorrow.
Well, shit. All right. And welcome back to the place where nothing is safe. This is episode 119 of the Jig Is Up podcast.
119.
Damn.
119, man. You know me. I'm your host, Yoas Marco, and I'm with.
It's your guy, M Easy.
It's your girl, Miss Nessa, a.k.a. Blaze Your Mommy.
It's your boy Kmart, a.k.a. Clutch, a.k.a. That's it.
That's it. All right. So, we've been saying this all along.
Mm-hmm.
August 19th, Sunday.
Sunday.
Get your tickets now.
For real, though.
Okay, for real, get them tickets because we're going to be there live and direct. And you're going to see us in the flesh. We're going to be talking to we'll be interviewing the winners of the barber battles for the men, the kings, and the queens, respectively, of the barber battle. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, you guys can kick it with us, talk with us, get to meet us in person. We're real people.
You looking mighty fresh yourself. I noticed your little cut.
You know,
going
K,
now,
you know,
I'm
K,
saying,
you
know what
know.
I'm saying?
Okay,
I mean, K took care of your boy, you know. I let him be the artist because he hit me up. He's like, hey, dog, can I hit you with a line on the side? And I was like, you know what, I'm feeling, it's Saturday.
He was like, well, I do let the artist be the artist. So.
right.
That
That's his line.
Make a
that's
choice.
my line. I let the artist be the artist. You gotta take the good in with the bad, but it happens. It's all subjective. That is art. Like we're doing this
Yes.
podcast. It's all art.
Yes.
You can hate it.
yes.
You can love it. You can be in the fence, or you not give a fuck about it. Either way, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But either way, get your tickets. And Ms. Nessa, I'm gonna have to say, some of the barber people are starting to notice that you are promoting it, and they're like, who's this Blasian mom? And I'm like, oh, that's my female colleague. Like, dog. So you already drawing fans.
You got
Yeah.
fans.
That's already drawing fans and
Hello?
shit.
Oh, yeah. You better wear a great outfit that day.
Damn, I really got it.
Yep.
All right, I gotta
Yep.
step it up. I don't
Yep.
want to look catfish. I'll be like, that ain't it.
You better look
That ain't
spectacular
it.
that day.
You said
Man.
what?
You better start looking spectacular
Well, I'm gonna
that
wear
day.
something that represents.
My hair gonna be nappy
Niggas
that
up.
day. Shit.
I'll just have like, if we do have the same type of outfitish, I'll just kind of like spruce mine up a little female-ish, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some beauticians out there too. They probably want to give you some more volume with your hair or something.
Oh,
you
you
know?
now,
All you Nessa fans out there.
Now I
get
gotta
ready.
really be popping. I thought I was gonna be chilling. Damn it.
Nope.
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 Nigga, nope.
This is something special.
Representation
It's our
matters.
first event.
Nothing to say.
Nothing
Yeah,
to
first
say.
impression, everything.
Yeah, I got you guys. Don't worry.
That's the
Don't
autograph
worry.
booth is gonna be like around
my
the corner.
Yeah, it's from like a 1 o'clock.
They gonna
to
give a fuck
1
about
to
us.
2.
Like fuck the boys. Fuck them
Autograph
niggas.
/ kissing booth.
Right.
You
For the
so
first- for the
sad.
first-
I didn't say all that.
Booth.
I said autograph
For the
booth.
first 10 people, you'd be in line.
I didn't say
You're-
all that.
Yours truly.
Just to say, yo, it's Marco did not say that. I'm just keeping myself in the clear.
I don't even know who said that. That's crazy.
The camera wasn't on, so y'all good.
Other than that, being easy, we have Jiggas Off Pockets.
Oh, this nigga just snitched on him.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
said-
Name drop like he's JC on.
Hey, we're not responsible for that, so yeah.
All right. All right. So this episode is gonna be done a little differently. We're gonna have a guest. We're calling in. It's a brother named Jotham Ndugga-Kabuye. I don't want to make. I'm gonna make sure I pronounce his name correctly when I call him in. But man, this dude is a pretty dope guy, man.
You know
He's
he
a-
gonna listen to this.
You be like,
He was like, damn, he straight butchered my name.
right?
I'm gonna call him. I'm
You
gonna call
butchered
him,
my name,
and
motherfucker.
I'm gonna do it again to be corrected. It's about
Alright,
correction.
sure.
I'm not afraid of a little criticism. Aight, motherfuckers.
I'm just saying, the way you said it's like, I'm gonna make sure I get it before I call. I was like, you know he gonna hear this though. Like,
But he ain't gonna hear it
Hey.
live. No. He gonna hear it afterwards. But
Then he gonna call
yeah.
you back.
Aw.
Yeah.
We're going to edit that part.
We're gonna edit. It's
We're
gonna
gonna
be
edit, but-
bloop.
All I ask is that you
All right.
record it.
But yeah, just a little bit about him. I know he's gonna mention it again, but he's a first generation Ugandan, one of 9 siblings. So that gotta be have a lot of brothers and siblings and sisters and all that.
A lot of sleeping head to toe.
Yeah, no kidding.
He was born in L.A., raised out here in San Diego, and he presently live in the Bay, which is basically most of where we get most of our listenership from Diego to the Bay.
Hey.
So shout out to everybody right there. He played some sports from Pop Warner all the way into college. He graduated at UCSD with a bachelor in science, and then he got his master's at San Diego State. And I'm gonna let him talk about and brag about himself. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give him that call. I'm pretty sure he's ready.
Ha!
Remix.
This is all done live.
At night, I think of food. I want a big slice of pizza,
Baby.
Oh,
Shit,
man.
son.
Hello.
Hello, hey.
Hey man, we got you on the podcast. What's up, brother? How you feeling?
What's good, man? I'm feeling good, man. Feeling righteous, you know what I'm saying? Living this life.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me on.
All right. Man, pleasure to have you here with us,
Yes.
So the pleasure is all ours, man. I know it took a while for us to get it done. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my guy, Zach, for linking us up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Zach, man. That's a good dude.
Yeah, man. Zach is the feds. I hope you know that, right?
He really is.
He's the narwhal.
He ain't lying.
That dude, Zach, is like, he could be an FBI agent, but
Yes.
that's my guy. That's my guy.
And the thing is, Zach seems to know everybody, so I decided I gotta make sure, it's all time that hey, Zach, like, this guy cool. So he the person I run people to in the first place to make sure, Zach got a wider network than mine, the script. So gotta make sure at all times.
Yeah, definitely. So, I'm going to make sure I pronounce your subjectively. I forgot what you said on the email. It's Jotham Ndugga-Kabuye?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Jotham Ndugga-Kabuye. I'm a son of East African immigrants, first generation. So we really out here right now.
You out here. So you kind of like Kaz, right?
You said what?
You're similar to Kaz, right? Kaz from Flagrant 2 podcast. He also writes for Bleacher Report. Real Life Kaz. I think that's his Twitter handle.
Oh yeah. Kaz is a retreat.
Yeah, Kaz is a retreat? Okay.
Yeah, Kaz is a retreat. I'm Ugandan, so it's different. So like out of all the East Africans, I feel like Ugandans have the most unique look because I find that a lot of Somalians, Eritreans, and Ethiopians all look very similar. kind of tall and slender,
Mm-hmm.
a little more. You have more life rights, if you will, in their squad. Ugandans are more like we're built like NFL safeties.
Yeah, yeah.
5'8" to 5'11", a little darker, a little swarthy, also a little thicker as well. So hey,
Yeah, I mean,
whatever.
I took an ancestry. I found out that most of my African DNA is in the Congo and Cameroon. So I don't know what that means.
No, that makes sense, though, right?
I mean, it's West
That makes
Africa,
sense,
but people look at me because I'm light skinned, I'm fair skinned complexion. They're like,
You are a colonizer.
nigga, you are not one of us.
You know, damn money.
You are
Ain't
not
from
one of
Cameroon.
And I'm like, I'm one of y'all. You see? But
us.
But I'm worried now because you hear about that 23andMe and they sending people's DNAs and to motherfucking like big time medical corporations. So yeah, you heard about that, Joe?
No, I didn't hear about that, but I think everybody's the feds, right? So that always surprised. I'm the most paranoid person in life, so I'm not surprised every night ulterior motives. You feel me? Like I feel like even my mom, I feel like ulterior motives too. Like, yeah, you provided for me. What you want out of it, though?
Right. Wow. Straight up.
She's like, you want me to take care of you in your old age, right? Okay, I see what's going on here. Over take care of you right now. I see. Okay, I'm on to you. So I'm not surprised.
I mean, that's the return on investment, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's trying to get their time to flesh. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. That's how life works.
Okay, so you said that you were born in L.A. and you were raised in San Diego. How long you lived in San Diego?
Man, so I would say I spent most of my formative years in San Diego because I went to high school there, grew up, did a lot of that in North County, San Diego, and Escondido, actually. Shout out to Escondido. It's nothing there but conservatives and drug users. Yeah, grew up in Escondido, went to high school up there, ended up going to undergrad out at UCSD because I was playing ball for a couple of years, planning on going somewhere else to play ball. I ended up ripping my knees up and discovering, like, you know what? I'm not going pro anyways. So instead of me going to some random town, a random city where I can hate my experience, let me stay close to home and eat off my mama's cooking for the next 4 years. So it kind of worked out.
Right.
Yeah. After that, went to San Diego State. Again, same thing. I was working, but at that point, I was going back and forth between San Diego and Los Angeles, working in LA, living in San Diego, and vice versa. Just trying to make a way, if you will. I used to work in fashion, so that was a long time ago.
Hey, that's dope. So, and then later on, you got into well, first of all, like, how do you describe the vibe between UCSD and San Diego State? They're in the same city, but two different vibes.
No, 100%, right? Because, UCSD is in La Jolla, right? So it's a real hoity-toity spot off top as far as San Diego goes. You're not that far from, like, Solana Beach, Del Mar. Basically, it's a bunch of rich white people for the most part, and rich Asians. And San Diego State, it's not in the middle of the hood or anything like that, but the area is not as, it's not as pretty, it's not as aesthetically pleasing, right? So you have a greater swath, I would say, of humanity there. And so the vibe is a lot different. UCSD, I feel like when I went to UCSD, like, we would go to San Diego State, like, to party and hang out. Like, that was where we got down, like UCSD. Especially at UCSD, I went there during the time of, like, the constant cookout, when they were, like, hanging nooses on campus.
Oh, shit.
I was there during that time. So if you ever seen that movie, Dear White People?
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
It's based off UCSD while I was there. So if you look at the credits, it actually goes, I think it's UCSD, because that was partly based on what happened while I was there. So, yeah, UCSD, I think at the time had 0.4% black people, which at the time was the lowest amount of black people among all the UC schools, despite it being like the second biggest population-wise of all the UCs, right? So that's why the few black people were there. We weren't hanging out at UCSD. We was kicking it over at SDSU. We was kicking it at the junior colleges, hanging out. Like, we wasn't really part of them at all. SDSU was definitely on my speed. Although the time I got to state, I was like grown. Well, and by grown, I mean like I was like 24. And then I was like working full time, and I was like doing other things, so I didn't really have time to really like connect with the people, if you will, and kind of get down to nitty gritty. But it was definitely a more fun experience, I would say.
I mean, you was getting a lot of things done. So, how is it like to like live with 9 other siblings, man? 'Cause I'm like, I grew up as an only child, so like, God forbid that like I had to share shit with people. So you were on the whole different extreme, especially being a first generation. So like, how's that whole dynamic?
Wait, so are you the oldest of the 9? Like, where do you fall in?
Oh hell no. I'm like left to center. I'm pretty much a middle child.
You're a middle child.
Ooh, damn.
So you the younger brother and the older brother.
Yeah, exactly. You get whipped up from above, and you got bothered from below.
Yeah.
So it gets heavy. I would say the good. I would tell people like, the thing about having 9 siblings is you always got someone home to kick it with, and so because of that, you grew up really, really close to your siblings. Because at the end of the day, like, why go out? Like, it's one of the things where, like, I didn't really need to go out and make friends when I was younger because all my friends were right here.
Straight up.
Yeah.
People was, like, going out and playing catch with. We was running bikes from, like, 1 a.m. in the morning, getting in trouble, catching whoopers together, getting in trouble together, getting in fights together, low-key running the block. Like, we thought it was like a low-key gang. The other 9 siblings, 7 of us are boys. Right. So we thought it was, like, low-key running the block when we was, like, 7. Getting all kinds of shenanigans. But at the same time, it's cool because you have, like, older siblings that kind of give you the game, right? So by the time, whether it be, like, the school stuff, career stuff, like, relationship stuff, you had your older siblings like, nah, bro. That's a mistake. Don't do that. You know?
Right.
So it was cool, especially because my mom was working all the time. It was very much like each one teach one in a way.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's one thing I probably missed as being an only child. I ended up becoming an older brother 14 years later when my mom got with my stepbrother. But it's all good, though.
Word.
Yeah.
So how was that, though? How was that for you making that transition from being a single to, like, someone else in the picture?
Man, yeah, it was different to get adjusted to. Like, it was crazy that the fact that, you know, like, around that time, like, in the early 2000s, teen pregnancy was still running rampant. So when I was, like, walking down the street with the stroller, my little brother in there, they think he's my kid. And I was like, nah, that's my little brother. And they're like, what? You know? And I think, like, to this
Like,
day,
you ain't gotta lie.
I think I got a little traumatized. Everybody's like, how come you ain't got no kids? I could go right back to the day that I had to change my brother's diaper.
Aw.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
Well, shoot, with me, I didn't have 9. There's 3 of us, but I'm also the middle child. But my situation was different. I don't know if it's because it's less, but my mom actually treated me like the older child, so I had to do everything. I was the first one to learn how to drive, to cook. I had to help both siblings with their homework, and I was my mom's right-hand person when her and my dad split up. So that was my middle child duties.
Yeah, for myself, I was middle child for 5.
Hey, it's middle child over
yeah,
here.
it's
Yeah.
Everybody's
2 step brothers,
Not everybody.
two step brothers, 1 half brother, and 1 sister. So both my parents was divorced from each other, and then they got married together, and then they brought all of us in. So yeah, it was pretty crazy though with the birthdays and Christmases. But man, yeah, my dude, I was pretty much the peacemaker. So you know, they would have fights or anything like that. I kind of stopped between both of them,
Yeah.
the siblings and stuff like that. I was
I
pretty much the good kid.
I
So
think that's what happens when you're the middle child as
yeah,
well.
he just kind of like balance. He kind of like balances everything
Yeah.
going on and stuff like that. So
Well, I was the oldest out of 4, and I caught all the hell because I was forced to grow up fast. You know, my pops was the hardest on me, so I could look out for my siblings. You know, he basically instilled responsibility in me very early. You know, something so small as just, hey, take your sibling outside. Like my younger sister, where I couldn't be like, hey, let's go play basketball or something with her because she wanted to do something else. And he's like, it's your responsibility to make sure she's good at all times. Or even like I had to like take care of my siblings. You know, like how you had to change the diaper, Marco.
Yeah.
I've done that before. Rinse some bath water, cook some food from. I've done that stuff. So, like that was a real fun situation. But
learning experience.
yeah, but now
Yeah.
you know I naturally check on my siblings now though, like what
Yeah,
big
that's
brothers do.
So how's your relationship with your siblings now? Hey, Joe, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Still here.
Oh, okay.
I don't know you're going to ask me that question. No, it's interesting because we're all spread out all over the country, right? So got some in Seattle, got some in New York, got some in D.C., got a couple down south still. I'm in the Bay Area now with one of my other siblings. So it's one of those things we rarely are all in the same room at the same time. I think the last time was like 2 years ago, my little brother's wedding. But we have a giant group text, and we're always like texting back and forth, calling each other FaceTime or whatever. Most of half of them are like married and got kids now, so all they do is send pictures of their kids. You know, new parents are extra corny. All they want to do is send pictures of their kids. It's kind of like that.
Right.
So, it's one of those things, you know. But it's cool because I get to be favorite uncle without actually having any seat of my own. So it works out good.
All right, cool.
So you guys are still tight knit. It's just from afar.
Yeah, just keeping it all close. So, man, I know that you're stylish, you're into fashion and all that stuff. So, specifically streetwear, and I know that you said that you worked for Crooks and Castles for a little bit.
Yeah, I did for a good year and a half, 2 years. So, started off. I think it was I just graduated from UCSD. Had like 6 months of like just kind of chilling. It's 2011 I started working with them and like in the marketing department. And so that was everything from like styling to doing social stuff. And you know, when you have such a small team of fashion, you end up wearing a lot of hats. So I came in just doing social and just doing like general marketing stuff.
Hey,
right?
just
That's
a quick
early on.
question. Were you there at the Recognize Real event out there in Vanguard, Hollywood? Yeah, I forgot how long that was.
Depends on what year that was. What year was that?
What year was that? Fuck. Maybe like 2008, 2009.
Maybe 2009.
Around that time?
No. I started working in 2011, so I was.
Okay. So you went around that time. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was there when they were still based out of West Hollywood. They had the store there in West Hollywood on Sunset.
Okay.
It was the store and the office. So it was cool because you get exposed to a lot of things, like everything from like being on the set with your favorite rappers and helping them style for shoots, or like, oh hey, Drake's coming by because he's picking up a couple pairs of glasses for like a campaign we're running with them. And that was back when streetwear was like the main thing rappers were wearing.
Yeah.
Before they got into like, you know, the higher end shit,
Yeah.
I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that was when you had a lot more access, right? But as with all things, streetwear's biggest problem is there's not enough barriers to entry. And so pretty much every like Tom, Dick, and Harry was like, you know, a computer can screen print graphics on a tee and call themselves a brand. And basically, it's a teacher hustle at that point. Right. And so because of that, it's really hard to differentiate yourself, especially when you're just kind of like writing like what's wavy at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why streetwear are dying off in the first place. And because it's so hard to make money, you're basically making your money based off the amount of product you're moving. Right, and so that means you have to go through the big box retailers like your Nordstroms, your Actives, your Zoomies, your what have you, your PacSuns. And when you're moving through them, they really dictate what you're doing as a brand, and that kind of takes the soul out of your brand. When they're telling you like, Joe, we like this design. Can you, give us 1,000 of each in this color? And you're like, well, that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, you guys wanted like streetwear is about exclusivity, right?
Yep.
It's like, this is like a 1 of 50.
Yeah.
Instead of a 1 of 1,000.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they want everybody to wear the same shirt.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's part of the reason why streetwear started dying off. It's hard to make money. And if you're like me, who was early in the game, it's really hard to make money. So I basically figured out that, look, unless I own a brand, I'm not really going to get paid. So, and that's part of the reason why I was like, let me go back to school and get this MBA, because I was like, that's something ain't right. I feel like I'm putting way too much hours and giving y'all way too many good ideas and not getting really compensated like I feel like I should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Joe.
And then from there it was.
With all that being said, did you agree with Kanye when he had his interview on Sway in the Morning, when he told Sway he didn't have the answers as far as starting your clothing line from the ground up, like when he was trying to basically preach that to Kanye?
Say that one more time.
Oh, I was saying, did you catch that interview with Kanye and in Sway in the Morning when he was talking about starting a clothing line? He was trying to collab with people, and Sway was trying to tell him to start from the ground up. I was saying, do you agree with Sway? Do you agree with Kanye when he was telling Sway you don't have the answers?
Well, I would say this. it's really difficult to start from nothing because there's so much investment you need, right, to start a brand, especially if you're doing something that's not a t-shirt hustle. Like you're doing cut and sew, right? You're making your own everything specced out from the hoodies, the jackets, the pants, whatever, to the way you want it. It's really hard to start from scratch, right? So just like, let's say you're random person X, and let's say Marco. Marco wants to start a brand, and he wants to do cut and sew, and he's trying to do 4 to 5 pieces, 50-piece run, all cut and sew pieces. That's going to run you anywhere between 5 to 10K, and that's just for like a 50 to 25 piece run of each piece. And I don't know about you, but the average person doesn't have 5K lying around to start that, right? So that's why a lot of times it takes investment. I've had friends who started successful brands who told me like, "Yo, you need at least 100K, bro. Just get something off the ground." Like that.
Yeah, that's serious.
So, which is unrealistic, right? That being said, there are ways to do it in ways that can still be effective, right? And so, me and a couple of homies, we started our other brand called Killian, which was just chewed off of this brand Superb that I used to work with, and that was all based like on the Supreme type idea of business plan, where it was, okay, you have limited release, you have only a certain amount of things, and once you make it, we're not making it again. The difference between Killian and Supreme was that it was like affordable prices. Whereas you go to Supreme and buy a bomber jacket for $320, you just come to Killian and buy that same a dope bomber jacket for $105. It's not less than that, right?
Yeah,
and
right.
limited piece run, and it was accessible to anybody for the most part. So with that, we were still having sellouts all the time. So the very first day we opened our store on Melrose, that night when we had our opening, we sold out. Granted, we opened like an hour.
So Melrose, and it's LA. Everybody want to look fly in LA. I mean, that's just
Right.
That's how it is.
They want to be different.
It's
from
Los
everybody.
Angeles.
Especially if you like being you a broke boy. I was a broke boy. I was like, look, I'm just trying to look good out here.
Right.
For the cheap though.
Yeah.
I don't got money.
And the two at the same time too, because everybody's trying to be looking something. They want to get a piece that nobody else have.
Yeah,
so if you have a limit,
exclusivity.
exclusivity. Yeah, that's the word.
Say it.
Exclusivity.
Exclusivity.
Yeah, exclusivity is key.
And like Kanye said, it's like I spent $400 on this just to be like, nigga, you ain't up on this.
You ain't up on this.
Right. Yeah. Hey, real shit.
It'd be like that. That being said, I tell people every time they ask me, like, because I still style occasionally for side businesses. I'll still be like, look, I shop at Target all the time on the low. And so,
He's on the low.
Hey, nothing wrong with
no one
Target.
realizes,
It ain't on the low no more.
Hey, you real if you said Target instead of Target.
You already know.
Oh yeah.
They got really good pants. I'm not saying go buy them from Target, but like they good fellows, good whatever brand they call it, and really decent like pants that are kind of stylish. They can kind of ham and think first, whatever. And you can kind of freak that. So
yeah, you can.
If you got the juice like that, you can make it work.
So you just mentioned Target, and I wanted to have it on one of my topics. But since we're here already, how do you feel about Champion dipping out on Target right now? Or did you hear about the news?
I didn't hear it, but I guess it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I think what Champion is like, people think that not all Champion is made equal, right? So the difference between the Champion you find at Target and Walmart and like Japanese reverse weave Champion, which is like what you find like a Kiss and Undefeated, etc. Right? There's a big difference between the quality. That being said, the average person doesn't realize that. So in their mind, it's like if the average consumer isn't smart to look the difference, it's going to drag down our brand perception and value if we're still in Target and Walmart. I get that. Sure.
Yeah.
That being said, you're turning down a lot of money, my G.
That's right. That's the first thing I thought.
That's a bag and a half.
There's a Target everywhere, so
Yeah, man. That's oof. Good luck.
The Champion party getting too big for their britches.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
All right.
We'll stay tuned, everybody.
They got all left to ask for a white girl. They're like, nah, you don't know.
I know, like Target and Walmart was holding them down. Big Five was holding y'all niggas down.
yeah.
No one didn't want to fuck with y'all
Big
until
Five.
I don't know who made them some hot MC or some
You're
models?
talking about that brought it back?
Yeah, who brought Champion back?
Probably the
I
game.
don't even know, but I feel like it's
Probably.
part
I would
that
say-
wave of things that are coming back, though. right?
I would kind of
You know,
say like Big Sean, Tiger, like the whole
Yeah.
snapback thing.
Yeah, I have to say
Champion had
'Cause I-
handled-
Well,
Yeah, I seen
champion
Champion.
because he had like a red champion thing and was
Yeah,
for
the
Compton,
jacket.
so
And,
the
Phil,
jacket.
and Phila's coming back too. I noticed.
Feela's coming back.
Yeah.
I still got my Grant Hill, so yeah.
I swear I just saw an advertisement for Fubu like at Chic, and I was like, "What's going on
Fubu.
here, bro?"
Fubu coming back.
Fubu, Platinum Fubu.
Yeah,
I get the fat Albert pants.
Deadass, 2 months ago, I was on the internet looking for like Averex leather jackets. Like, I'm
Stop it! Stop
Like, what's next?
I was like, yo, I'm about to be out here killing the game. Make sure we're gonna have this.
Next
what-
thing you know, he's gonna start wearing academics velour sweater suits and shit.
Oh,
With the Sean John
Yo.
the Sean John velvet sweat
Yo.
suit.
it! Iceberg.
I
looking like a
got
damn
it.
looking like an African mobster out there.
Was it lot 20,
Dude,
22?
dude,
Lot
you gotta
29.
do-
29.
Oh man.
My lad 29.
You have a-
Probably like the dark skinned Pablo Escobar. All the time.
Right. Stop it.
Get your South Pole stuff too.
Oh man, running up on somebody like Casino, hit him with the silencer in Costa Rica.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, this guy.
You gonna get you an Eminem's racist
Shouts
team.
to Super Pop, shouts to Averex, shouts
Oh, yeah.
to Fubu. You know what I'm
The
saying?
NASCAR jackets coming back.
Oh my
Yep,
goodness.
yeah.
Oh, the M&Ms.
That's what I was talking about. The Eminem.
The Eminem jackets.
That's too far.
That's
like-
too far.
Hey, Supreme bringing back NBA patches, homie. So
Oh,
that ain't too
God.
far fetched.
Yo, that's wild. It might happen though. I'll be surprised. Next thing you know, you're gonna see chicks with like the fur color, like maybe fat jackets again. So I'm like, y'all gone too far. Like some things you gotta leave behind.
Fucking Nelly about to drop apple bottom jeans rebrand,
No,
homie.
Yeah.
no.
You get a bunch of Instagram thoughts wearing that shit.
Man, I'll get
Yo, man.
Bruh.
What was his brand?
Vocal.
Vocal.
Vocal,
Yeah.
Vocal. South to South Pole,
I had-
South
I
Pole
had some
though.
shorts. Some Vocal
He
shorts.
said ass.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Man,
man.
talk about these
Fat
old ass
Farms.
brands cracking me up,
Yo,
man. Taking
Yo,
me down
man,
memory lane.
I had the Pelly, because especially when you have
Pelly
big brothers,
Pelly.
I was going to take quality.
Yo, I fucks with Joe. I fucks with Joe. So you were a personal stylist too, right? You were shopping for people and doing a lot
I
of
was-
style work
yeah,
too.
I was personal shopping, styling, but it was like both here in San Diego and Los Angeles. Who getting him back?
Oh shit!
Somebody outside.
You know, we
Hey,
are
this
we
is-
at the safe
we at
house.
We're at the safe house.
so-
We
Yeah.
have two locations. We're either at the safe house or we at the studio.
At the location? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So
Nothing to safe
kinda-
out here.
Yeah, it's nothing safe out
So
here.
whether the sound quality is bad, it's coming from a burner phone. I get it.
He said,
Oh,
"Who's getting
man.
hemmed up?" Damn, I'm surprised you heard that shit.
Hitting them with the KD with the burner accounts, huh?
Ooh, okay, I see, spicy. Personal styling and personal shopping. So that'd be like someone told me, "Hey, yo, look, I'm about to go on a trip for a couple of weeks. This is like kind of what the vibe is, or whatever. Can you help me find some outfits out? Boom, got you." Or be like, "Yo, I got an event," or "Hey, I'm shooting a music video. You think you can style me and people in the music video? Sure, I got you." Boom. And that all started working at Crook because people saw I had a good eye.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you know, it was like, "Hey, yo, can we get Joe to come to the shoot? Got you." And the people on the side was like, "Yo, can we hire you on the side, bro? Like, just in case." And so while when I went back to school and stopped working with Crooks, I was still doing that on the side as well because, needed money, had to have that side hustle.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you got
definitely,
to.
definitely. That's real shit right there.
And that's actually some of my first. Fashion is still like, besides like athletics, fashion is still like my first love. Like, yeah, I work in tech now, but like even now, like I'm in the process of releasing another brand end of this year. So we're gonna see if I've learned enough lessons from my past mistakes and failures to make this one pop off like I really wanted to. So we're gonna see.
So
So you gotta
like,
learn, man.
so you were a student in San Diego, you were freelance working in LA, and now you're in the tech industry out in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley. So how were all these three different transitions going on through these phases of your life? So
How was transition then, or just
like these transitions, like how you went from like student from like freelance to like professional in the Bay, and tech in the tech industry. Like how's that transition going from like fashion, culture, arts to more like corporate based?
It's interesting, right? But I would say, as a black person, you kind of been training for that your entire life in a way, right? Because as a black person, in order to survive, you learn to code switch, right? You learn to be able to go from different environments and change your mannerisms, whether it be speech patterns, when you walk, whatever, in order to.
It's like speaking different languages. I think we all master that.
Yeah.
As black people,
Yeah, right. So, 100%. And so I feel like because of that, I feel like it would be for me to do that. So even though like grew up in hood a little bit, like my mom sent me to private schools, was like working like triple shifts to make that happen. And so I was already used to be around white people anyways, and used to be around other people who came from greater means than myself. So, and that's when you're growing up and you're like in like AP classes and you're taking college courses in high school. Like you're running into people who are like high achieving, who are usually more fluent, of a lot of complexion than you. And so you're used to changing up how you operate. So for me, the biggest change wasn't necessarily in myself. It was more so dealing with different kinds of people, right? So the fashion world is very much, they're not shallow, but they're very much focused on the scene, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very much focused on what's now, what's hot in this moment in time. And they're not really concerned with what's going on outside of that, in terms of what's happening in politics, what's happening in the socioeconomic space, what have you. And then when you go from that to, I started working in the corporate world to working like at Pepsi, like that was a big change, right? So I remember a situation where we were eating lunch together, and this is around the time of the Trayvon Martin case, right? And so one of the worst things when you're a black person in like corporate spaces, when they try to play that game of ask the black guy or ask the black person.
Oh, little microaggressions and shit.
Yeah, facts. So Trayvon Martin's going on, and they're like, everyone's talking about it. I didn't have my opinions, obviously. I'm not saying nothing because I'm not trying to spark a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like half of y'all anyway. To be honest with you, I just here to collect my check, go home.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're like, oh, no. They'll to me, well, what do you think? And I'm like,
Oh my God! Sound like a setup.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and so I was trying to keep it cool. I was like, I mean, regardless of what the evidence says, a young black boy got killed, and all too often we automatically, like, the justice system itself is flawed for the way it feels of black people, right?
Well, you know what? I think Pepsi. Sorry to interrupt, but I think Pepsi needed you at the board table when they decided to go with that damn Kendall Jenner commercial. I think you probably would have changed the course.
Yeah.
I think you would have changed the course of history if you were there.
Yeah, man. Nah, you're 100% right. I'm ready to that because when that happened, I low-key tweeted it out. But then I guess people know what I was talking about. Because my close friends who knew, I was like, all right, bet. Kendall Jenner, huh? He changed the look by herself. But yeah, so it got into the whole situation. I actually ended up getting seated. Started, saying some things. Maybe probably shouldn't have in the workplace. And then I got reprimanded out of everybody there. So I was like, all right, so never again. Don't play Ask the Black Guy get to office. How it's different kind of people. So when I go from fashion to at Oracle, where I work in the tech industry, it's very different. Where as the one black person again, in a giant marketing department of people, like for one, your perspectives are never represented, right? And so often you are the lone representative of that perspective in this room for white people and Asian people. We're trying to relate to a large swath of people, right? So that's everything from Indians to Polynesians to black people. Like they don't have color in these outfits, and so it's kind of like you have the burden of I have to make sure that I'm excellent, so they realize that we should probably hire more people like him, but also keeping them on the right path where it's like, hey yo, that's not going to work, that's not going to fly. And you guys are coming off as inauthentic the way you're like writing these things out, these marketing campaigns out, because you're trying to relate to black and brown people without actually having any relations with black and brown.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds like Democrats to me.
Yep.
Oh,
shit.
Yo. So, but no, it's been good though because it also forced me to be more open to teaching people, right? To realizing that. Even though I feel like people should know these things, at the same time, there are people who don't know these things and are willing to learn. So dismissing them offhand is not a great way to further your cause, right? As I used to when I was younger, I'm like, nah, learn on your own. Now it's like, all right, if you want to learn, come talk.
Yeah.
I'll put you on game on Lupe Fiasco, right? So, yeah, it's been good so far, though. I really enjoyed my stint.
All right. So now, what, you're doing your own business, right? You and your partner Nico.
Yeah, so the homie Nico at Technical Basis on Instagram, in his biggest Twitter. That's my boy. That's my guy. He actually grew up he actually used to Temecula. He went to Cal San Marcos, and I knew of him, but I didn't actually know him. I heard of him because I knew some of the other people, and I was like, oh, he's one of them Asian guys who has a lot of black friends and probably says the N-word all the time. I thought he was kind of a mark. I was like, all right, whatever. But when I met dude, I was like, yo, he's really a really good dude, solid dude. Like, he has a real passion for just creating things. And that's where we meshed and vibed. And so Maron, which means brown in Spanish, for those who are uninformed, basically the genesis of that is, I was creating stuff at Oracle, but I wasn't happy with the fact that all we were doing was very much tech-related. And he was working for the city. I wasn't happy with the fact that he didn't get to create stuff as much. And so from there it was like, well, we're both two brown kids of varying shades from SoCal, which is heavily influenced by Latinx culture, to be a bit more correct. And with that, I think we decided to create shit and tell amazing stories and create dope shit, right? So that's where we connected on that level alone. And actually now he works with me at Oracle, because you're not a boss at every table 8, to quote Ross. So now he works with me at Oracle actually as well.
That's what's up.
So then you also noted that you've done work with G-Eazy, Anderson .Paak, which is one of my favorite artists, Jeezy,
Yeah.
Tyler the Creator. So how's it like working with like artists and shooting them in concerts, right? You showed.
Yeah. So we shot a bunch of artists. It's kind of like a whirlwind. So where a lot of times it's just sticking your head out there and shooting your shot, if you will, and saying, hey, we want to do this, right? And thank God a couple people took chances on us. Like with the Jeezy thing, he had his album release party, and they needed someone to make like a video based off around that. So for whatever reason, I think Gerald's dude was out of pocket, wasn't there, whatever. They needed someone to do it. And we knew one person who was like, well, we know these two guys who are just hungry to do stuff. And so they called us, and we came through. They literally called us the day before the event happened. They came create something for this around this. It was like no to no preparation whatsoever. And it turned out really dope, right? So things like that, things like working with brands like Brooklyn Circus, working with artists like Anderson .Paak to create visuals, shoot them at shows. It's really fun to say you work with some of your favorite artists, from Pat to Bryson Tiller to whatever. It's really fun. At the same time, I feel like we're actually moving away from that portion in terms of photography set, and moving more towards like just creating original work, because it's dope to create stuff for other people, but it's even better to execute on your own vision. So we actually just finished a project with Disco called Undefined. We just put it out as a whole set of photos and sets of vision that we take around that, and basically explores the idea of black and brown identity and how we are consumed and viewed by mainstream white culture, if you will, and how they have these preconceived notions about us to actually understand who we are and meet their preconceived notions. And it's funny because Blind Spotting, that movie, just came out, and tying, and in terms of the tie, it came perfectly. Wait, have you guys seen Blind Spotting yet?
What's that? What's the name of the movie you said again? Sorry.
Blind Spotting.
Blind Spotting? Oh, the one about. No, I haven't seen it, but I heard great things about it.
You know what? I'm not gonna ruin anything. I'm not gonna ruin anything. Go watch it.
All right, I'll go watch it. I know, like my girl, she wants me to take her out to the movies tomorrow. She want to see Black Klansman, or Well, maybe I'll just say, hey, well, how about this one?
So shout out to Black Klansman. I have one celebrity crush in this life, and it's Laura Harrier. She is amazing. I love her so much. So if she ever hears this podcast, Laura Harrier looks good.
Hey, well, maybe on Twitter when we have it out there, you can tag her, and then I can like cut paste that one part right there.
She was in Spider-Man Homecoming. She was like his love interest.
Oh, that was Peter's girlfriend, the one who got Michael Keaton was the
exactly.
okay, got you, her. Yeah, she's a cutie.
Yeah.
She is a cutie. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%,
Okay,
100%.
I like your taste. That's good. Pause. You know, we have good taste.
Black girls who are tall. That's my taste. I love tall black. That's my taste. Right
Oh,
there.
tall black girls.
Like,
Yeah, Kmart like tall women too.
Trees.
Them Amazon
Oh,
trees.
I got Kmart and he likes tall women.
Oh yeah, like them trees.
oh man, come on, we can't hang out, bro. I can't have you over here scheming on me when I'm trying to scheme out here, bro.
Competition.
Hey
You know what I
man,
mean?
you got up there, I got down here, man.
So Joe, like, how tall are you? I mean, I'm not trying to say like you stepping up to tall women, which is rare.
The funny thing is, I'm only 5'10", right? And so
Okay,
you know, taller women generally
Keyword
like
only.
taller
You know
men.
what's up.
They're like, they want to wear heels around my guy. I want to feel like basically sexy. I like to wear fuck all that, right?
Right.
Your tall boot can't work. So like, why does it matter?
Oh, okay, I like this spicy talk right here. Oh shit.
I don't get it, man. At the end of the day, like, look, he might be tall, but at the end of the day, like, he's been hooping for his entire life. He's still trying to get on overseas. It ain't happening. So.
Oh,
Shots
snap.
fired. Hold on.
401k.
Hold on. I don't know if you can hear that, but man, that was some shots fired. That was some shots fired. I'm pretty sure you keeping that same energy out there in the Bay. So
100%. I'm the hot take hotep for sure.
I'll take a
No, I'm not hotep. I'm not hotep. I hate hoteps. 100%.
Oh man, shout outs to the Hoteps, the Israelites, the whatever, But dude, it was funny because all of Black Twitter is funny. Either you were a Hotep or you were like, ABC crew, Shea Butter Twitter, whatever Black Twitter you represent, everyone could get behind the whole LeBron I Promise School campaign. So how do you feel about that one?
Yo, shout out to LeBron, Black GOAT. Playing for my Lakers now. It's amazing. It's amazing fun having the best player in the world again, playing for your squad. It just feels right. It just makes sense. You know what I'm saying? That being said, I think that's amazing, right? Like, this is a dude who, came from nothing, and now he founded a school. And that's a charter school, by chance.
It's a public school, right?
A public school.
Yeah.
A public school. And the school funded. Like, that's crazy. And more importantly, and the best part of it to me is actually that it kind of breaks cycles of poverty in the sense of, yes, the kids are getting an education, you might get to college for free if they pass. But more importantly, the parents are getting help. And I'm a big believer in everything flows from the head, because it doesn't matter if, like, if I'm trying to do well in school, but when I come home, my daddy is unemployed and putting hands to my mom because he's feeling frustrated from the fact that he can provide to be a man in the house, right? Whatever.
That's deep. That's deep.
The situation with LeBron, like, dude is really saying, like, hey, parents, I got you. I'm going to help you find jobs. I'm going to get your GEDs. I'm going to help you eat food, right? Like, there's a food pantry. I don't know how many times I went to bed hungry as a kid, right? And I did really well in school, but how much better could I have done if, like, I had to worry about where my next meal was coming from, or if we could keep the lights on that month? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much does that really affect you psychologically? The trauma from that you're not dealing with anymore because you can just focus on being a child and succeeding as a child. Things that Black people and brown people a lot of times don't have, that opportunity. That's amazing. LeBron's ready to go. He's ready to go.
He's the GOAT. So
Yeah,
I had a little theory in my head. I feel like if LeBron said, okay, if I can't touch MJ in rings and on the court, you damn sure I'm gonna try to beat this motherfucker off the court. I'm gonna try to be the most philanthropic, caring, giving person in basketball, bar none. So you think is that a checkmate for LeBron fans and a checkmate for MJ fans?
Sure.
Well, my thing is, even before you consider LeBron and MJ, I don't necessarily feel like MJ is actually the GOAT, though. I actually think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the GOAT, to be completely honest. And that goes before you think about my Laker fandom. I think, like, he has just as many MVPs. He's more points scored. get more longevity, right? By any stretch of imagination, and this is many MVPs he did. Like by any stretch of imagination, you can clearly say that KJ is the greatest player of all time, right? An unstoppable shot, right? Really revolutionized the way we look at big men in general. I feel like KJ is the GOAT. That being said, if we're comparing LeBron and MJ, I would say that off the court he's ready to go MJP, no question. On the court, I'm hard pressed to think that MJ could take a team of Larry Hughes and Junior Sadowski to the finals.
That 07 squad was horrid.
Trash.
I'm sorry. That squad had the number one defense that year. I can't stress that enough. That team had the number one defense that year, and Larry Hughes was supporting LeBron with 22 points a game. I'm saying that team had the number one defense that year, and Larry Hughes was supporting LeBron with 22 points a game. And then who else was on that team? Drew Gooden on that team?
Drew Gooden was on that team.
He was putting up some points. I think.
I think.
But no,
We don't have
I personally believe
statistics here.
Mike would have brought that same team to the finals the same way LeBron did.
I feel like you asking a lot. If your number 2 scorer is Larry Hughes, scoring 22 points a game, by the way, he probably shot 42% the entire season. Let's not act like Larry Hughes was this efficient scorer who was getting to the line and shooting good shots. No, Larry was kind of a gunner, right?
Hey, he still got 22 points. However he got them, he did.
Look, if it takes you 17 times to pass a test and it takes me once, that don't mean we're the same level of intelligence. Right? and if you pass, congratulations, but damn, it took you a damn long time to get there, right? So, I like Larry. I'm just saying, like, when your number 2 option is 22 points a game, Larry, at 39% from the field, like, it's tough sledding. I'm not saying he had no help.
Yeah.
Because I feel like to get to the finals, you got to have some help, but goddamn.
Yeah, because you got to take the defense into account as well. And that percentage ain't really, I mean, when you compare it across the board, it's not really that bad because if you look at your boy Kobe, his percentage wasn't all that great either. And he was putting points up.
I think Emizi mentioned Kobe. Is that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you look at Kobe's percentages, too, like, he used to, shoot until he make whatever. He's just let him go however much he felt like it.
By any means necessary, whatever the cost, even if it means lots of loss.
That's what I'm saying.
So I take it that are you a more of a Ho fan? Are you a big Jay-Z fan?
I am a registered card game member of the Ho Stan Nation. I think Ho is the GOAT, and this is like because like my mom is a minister, my grandpa is a minister, my dad went to Bible college. Like I grew up like in a very Christian household, right?
Oh, so you were behind closed doors, huh? Just popping them tapes and them CDs.
Exactly. So all I listened to was like radio cuts up until I got to high school. Like we go on a field trips. The longest time I thought Nelly's Ride With Me was like the greatest rap song of all time. That's all I always heard on the radio. I was like, yo, Nelly can rap, bro. And whatever happened, like the last verse was like, whatever it was. Whatever the last verse was, like, Shorty, I'm a fly guy. I'm a fly around like that.
Yeah, that's City Spud.
For whatever reason. When I got to high school, still listening to gospel music, my homie Salim, I don't even know where he is right now, he burned me to Black Album my freshman year. And, bro, that changed my life. I really, like, to this day, I think the Black Album is Jay's best album. And not just because of the fact, like, nostalgia-wise, maybe from the hip-hop. Like, I really think from production-wise to rapping-wise, I feel like Hope is the peak of his powers.
That's something we agree on. I wasn't a big Jay-Z fan until the Black Album dropped, actually, to be honest.
And still?
No, not. I'm a Jay-Z fan now, but, like, his Volume 1s, 2, 3, Reasonable Doubt and all that, I wasn't really a big Jay fan. Once he dropped the Black Album, that was like my favorite Jay album, song for song, the whole track list.
Yeah, Easy's more of a Nas fan. He's a Nas.
You're one of those.
You're one of those. Oh no!
Ether all day.
Ether over takeover for him.
I'm not not even a Nas hater. I really recognize the fact that look, your beat selection is trash. You're waffling back and forth. Like, is it Uchi Wally Wally or is it one mic? Like, I'm not. I don't want to be preached at, bro. Especially from like a person who I feel like is more intelligent than me, right? So for me, it's like you're not really giving me anything I don't really know. And if your shit is like preaching, I'm not trying to hear you. That's my same issue. That's my same issue with Cole. I'm like, all right, Cole. Like,
Nessa just gasped because she's a big Cole fan.
So okay, so with that being said,
that's even worse. Cole fans are worse.
Ooh, I'm liking the spice. I'm liking the flagrancy on this. Let's keep that same energy.
So okay, so with that being said, do you still listen to Jay? Cause he preaching now, bro.
But the thing is, Jay is a different part of his life, right? So Jay's is like, I'm a grown ass man and I've been through some shit. That being said, this is his first good album since American Gangster.
Love American Gangster.
Magna Carta Holy Grail was trash. That was trash. What is it? Kingdom Come was trash.
Kingdom Come was trash. Oh man.
Yeah, no. Kingdom Come had a couple joints, but like it wasn't like it worked. Like it had like 13 songs on there.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good effort by Hope, especially that's your first.
That's
like,
his comeback album.
Minority Report.
Beast Chair.
What?
There's New 20.
Hollywood
Kingdom
featuring
Come.
Beyonce.
Oh god.
Nah.
Nah.
Stop it.
You just named the wrong song, brother.
Can we talk about how Hope
Moving
and
on.
Beyonce don't really make good music together? Can we talk about that?
Let's talk about what?
How Hope and Beyonce don't make good music together. They really don't. Like that's not their like. Ultimately, Bonnie and Clyde is a cut, but this Carter's album was a let down. Like there was not one memorable Hope verse
Thank
that you
you.
can remember 5 years ago.
Thank you
And
for addressing
Beyonce's not
that.
a good rapper. I'm sorry, she's not a good rapper. She's not a good rapper. I'd rather hear Beyonce.
Ooh, Beehive coming for you, dog.
Yeah, come
So
on
what?
us.
Oh,
The beat-
what?
the-
I love Beyonce.
They
I
go-
just want to hear her rap. I'd rather hear Rihanna rap. Rihanna could rap.
Oh yeah, Rihanna. Oh
Yeah, Rihanna's
Rihanna.
bad.
Oh, with on that Lemon song. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear her rap all day.
Hello.
Hey, you know, I
Wait, but
agree with
but rap in general. So you're not you're not into any type of conscious rap.
One more time.
Nessa was asking if you're not into any type of conscious rap.
It's the funny thing is, someone from a gospel background and like decently educated, conscious rap doesn't do it for me for the most part, like at all. That's like, and like I said, that goes back to me thinking that I don't want to be preached at by people who don't have the credentials to preach at me. Right. That's what it comes down to.
So
Like, I don't wanna-
experience.
I don't-
So you don't think experience would count as credentials? Like life experiences?
No, it can. It can. Don't get me wrong, it can, because I would say experience is the life's greatest teacher, right? And you don't have to have a degree to prove your side of intelligence, right? That's I'm 100%. I'm 100% believing that not everybody needs to go to school, right? So I'm not going to be that person. I will say though that the way most conscious rappers address issues is kind of elementary and kind of sophomoric, right? It's fairly basic. There's nothing really deep that I'm getting from them, right? So if that's if that's the case, why am I coming to you at all then? Right? I like. It's cool that you did a rhythmic form and really nice beat. I know you can rap. Like I know Cole can rap, but he's rapping for a college audience that maybe don't understand certain things. Like, hey guys, you should love what you have in life. And I love that track, Love Lord. So like that's not really for me.
So what really is for you nowadays?
Yeah, I'm curious.
What?
I said, what's really for you nowadays?
So my favorite rappers are rappers there's no way I have any connection to. So even though I grew up in the hood, I never actually had a chance.
Dude, that's you and Zach have a lot in common when it comes to that, because Zach is like, dude, I want Pusha T to keep rapping about drugs he sold, because to him it's entertainment.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. Like, tell me about how many chicks you swagged. Tell me about how many coke you did, or how much you sold, or how many Xans you took. Like, homie, I don't care. It's entertainment to me. So I was like,
Exactly.
damn.
Okay, question.
100%.
What's
Pusha's
your
my favorite rapper?
What's your favorite Pusha T verse?
Favorite Pusha Pusha T verse.
Yeah.
That is a great. That ooh.
I'm gonna give you mine. It's from Kanye's Runaway.
That was dope.
My favorite Pusha T verse is from
every
So Appalled.
great
That's
So
a good
Appalled,
one.
So
too.
Appalled,
okay.
yeah.
I love Nostalgia. I think he ripped that. The one with Kendrick. Like, and Nostalgia to this day,
Ooh.
like number one
Ooh.
place,
I like that
song on Spotify to this day.
Yeah, I feel it.
That one's up there. So Paul is up there. To this day, his verse on Mr. Me Too still gets off to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Exodus 3:16.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was spitting.
Yo, and the thing is that video on top of that was so grimy, gutter, and dark.
Yeah.
It was perfect. It was perfect, and I think there's a way to be conscious while not being preachy, right? And I feel like rappers like Pusha, rappers like Rick Ross, rappers like Schoolboy Q, J Rock have a way of being like, hey yo, there's a better way of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things you should be doing better, but also, like, I'm going to spin this drug out of pills to you at the same time. And be that in there. Like, that self-reflection of everything I did was good.
So it's
And I
kind of
want
like
better
the Jay-Z line, you're like, I used to rap about selling crack, and Hov went through something about that. Like, Hov did that, so you wouldn't have to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, exactly. 100%. So that's where I stand with it. That being said, Push is my favorite rapper. I love Action Bronson.
okay.
Action.
Action Bronson's my dude, man.
Action Bronson is great.
Hey, I fucks with the Rockers, homie. That's my shit right there with him. With Wiz Khalifa. Hit you with that drop kick,
yeah?
Marty Jannetty. Yeah, man. Sciab Stories, man. I fuck with Action Bronson, man. Shit.
We here.
Okay. Shit, nigga, maybe we want to go to the Bay, connect, like, let's build. Let's get shit going. But yeah, man.
Oh God.
And dude, so like, I know you've been living all up and down California. So you've been in San Diego, you've been in LA, and you've been in the Bay. What's your favorite part of California?
Ooh, I want to retire in San Diego, but LA's my favorite part. LA's my favorite. San Diego's great. It's quiet. I like quiet. I don't really like big cities all that much. The Bay has its charm. I feel like Oakland black people are my favorite kind of black people because they're very, like, as far as generations go, like, it goes for me, like Oakland, like heavy New York dudes, and then like better all of it. Oakland's my favorite because in the sense of like they're not pretentious. What you see is what you get. They like what they like, and they don't care what you think about otherwise. Also in Oakland, I feel like there's a larger, I guess community of like young black professionals that really connects with each other in ways that like I really support and agree with. That being said, I do not like Gucci young black professionals because I feel like a lot of them are pretentious, and they also get very like holier than thou and I'm better than you in ways I don't really rock with.
Right.
Me, I like ratchet shit. So for me, it's like I'd rather hang out like like around the ratchet shit. There are a bunch of educated black people, telling us how we should probably pick our pants up and now wear just tight clothes when we go out. Like, I don't really vibe with y'all like that. Y'all kind of corny to me. That being said, I love LA the best. LA just because creatively it's best for me in terms of so many things going on. The sneaker culture, the fashion culture, the entertainment industry. The weather's better. The women are prettier. The Mexican food tastes better. Like, it's just better all around.
The Mexican food is
you
better?
said the Mexican food's better?
Hello?
Better than San Diego?
I know.
San Diego is
San Diego's better
Mexico.
than Mexican.
Oh,
San Diego's
okay. I
better
thought you said LA's.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
I was about to
okay.
say.
Like LA versus the Bay. LA versus the Bay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Save
That
yourself.
being said, LA is not as good as San Diego Mexican food, but it's good enough where I can be there for the rest of my life.
It'll suffice.
Also,
Like, it'll do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. And I'm an hour and a half from the highway. I can always run on the 5.
You know?
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of my favorite spots in Oceanside. You know what I'm saying? Go to Cotija's one time. Go to Alberto's one time or something.
Right.
So I guess Lucy's will have to do out when you're out there in
Yeah.
LA.
Oh, God. Yeah, no. Bay Area's trash. Bay Area's got no good spots out here.
I mean, they too far up there to.
To connect with
To
their
connect,
fellow Mexicans
yeah.
and stuff. So
There are. And There are. I'm putting a double in it. They got gems. They got like
Yeah.
on average it's trash, but like they have gems. Like every once in a while, Zach Shaquille O'Neal has a 3-pointer. That'll make me a 3-point shooter.
Oh man, dude. Oh shit, man. Oh, I just want to ask you a question. Did Travis Scott hit a 3-peat? He just dropped his third album. Travis Scott, did he hit a 3-peat? His third album. Did you like Astro World?
Or have you listened to it?
Have you listened to it?
I've ran through it one time. I enjoyed it so far. The production is amazing.
Oh yeah.
The features are perfect.
Yeah, the features are.
I'm not the biggest Travis Scott fan, because, like I said, like my favorite rap is East Coast rap for the most part, like New York, like grimy New York, like grimy South stuff. He's not really like a traditional rapper in that sense. That being said, I enjoy his music. His first 2 albums are amazing. This one is really good, and I think it gets more listens from the really give it a.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed the album so far, though.
I think he's 3 for 3. That's what I came to that conclusion. I was like, it's 3 for 3, but I do prefer his first 2 albums more than this one. But this album is still growing on me.
What do you think is the best album of the summer?
Best album of the summer?
Oh man.
Yeah,
Daytona.
Summer. What did you say?
J-Rock.
J-Rock?
J-Rock. I was at Pushes.
To me, the best album of the year, to me, is Nipsey Hussle. Victory Lap.
I'm not mad at that. I will say, I think all the it's funny because Bay people are very sensitive about their flex in the overarching culture, and so they have this idea that like LA has taken a lot of their swag from them. And so I had a conversation with my friend who's an artist guy, and he was like, "Yo, man, all that people do is steal music from us, they steal our swag, they steal our words." I'm like, don't get me wrong, bro. When I go out, the parties that jump the most in LA are the ones that are playing like a heavy Bay Area set. Sure. That being said, like the top 5 albums here are all LA artists. Like outside of Saba, who put out his album, I think was in January, February. Saba put out an amazing album. But like Sir, Inglewood Sir put out an amazing album.
Oh yeah.
J-Rock, LA, CDE, Nipsey Hussle put out an amazing album. The Internet, they're all from LA, put out an amazing album.
Yes.
Buddy's album.
Oh,
Buddy.
I love that album too.
My favorite album this summer, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Shameless
So, like,
is dope.
the 5 best
That's my shit right there.
Shit, the
Yeah,
first track.
Trouble on Central.
Trouble
Fire,
Central. Yep.
Plays every single morning. Yeah. There's another thing. Lauren Harrier is a big Buddy fan, apparently. So we had that connection. That's it.
Oh, there we go. There you go. There you go, man. Man, shoot your shot. I don't care if from half court, you out there, show up at the Oracle Arena, pull up from 40 on the shorty, just like you Steph Curry.
Fancy Stick Junior.
Hey, sky's the limit.
Right.
Man, what else? Man, were there anything you want to ask us?
I mean, well, like, this podcast-wise, like, what made you want to do this podcast in the first place? Like, what was, like, the genesis of it all?
Well, for me, I used to blog for this site called riseao7.com. And, some things led to another. I fell into a depression. And, some shit happened. Life shit happens after my little bad breakup I went through. And then I just got inspired by listening to, like, other podcasts, different podcasts, like, from Knowledge for Men by Andrew Farabee. He's based out of here in San Diego. Of course, The Brilliant Idiots, Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz. Joe Budden's podcast, even before it became crazy popular. I was fucking with Joe Budden's podcast.
Before all this stuff.
The Read, like, Tax is, like, huge. One of my, like, bigger influences in podcasting. So I figured, I grabbed some of my friends. I got my guy Easy, Kmart, Nessa out here, and I figured that, like, we have some funny, dope conversations or whatever. And I was like, dude, I think we need to record it and, get things going. And then, of course, Zach, he supported us in the beginning. So if you ever listen to the earlier episodes, he was there heavily when he had time to. He'll come on the show occasionally whenever he has the time to because, he's married, he got kids. And most of us have no kids, so...
none of us have kids.
None of us have kids.
Actually.
Yeah, none of us. The pull-out game champions still reigning to this day.
Undefeated.
Ask my kids. Wait a minute, we ain't got no damn kids.
They loaded in the chamber.
So,
I have a question for you. I don't know if you can hear me.
oh, can you hear Nessa, Joe?
Mhm.
Maybe I,
You might have to repeat the question, but go ahead.
Well, we're really here on the I can't even talk. Here on the podcast, we're really big on like, you know, speaking things to existence, you know, putting stuff out in the universe, watching things manifest. Did you honestly see yourself going from, you know, middle child doing stuff like, you know, with your family to being where you are now?
Is that a question for me? Or for
Oh, that was
yeah,
for
that's
you.
for you.
Oh, the funny thing is, I'm not actually big into the whole like manifesting thing. I'm much more into, hey, like whatever God's got for you is gonna happen for you, right? And so you can try to fight the wave if you want.
I like
try
that.
to be disappointed if you want. Things will shake your way. Cool. Like as the good book says, I know the plans I have, right? So that being said, coming up, I had to do something right. You know, I had a dad who wasn't around. I didn't get the jobs I wanted. Like when I was younger, I really wanted to work for Nike and design sneakers and work in marketing. I got turned out from Nike so many times. Every once in a while, I go to my profile on Nike, my clients to see how many jobs I've applied to, and it's over 100. And I got rejected over 100 times from Nike. So like, for me, it was more like those things that happen for a reason because God has something better for me, right? And so my life, as it is now, is nothing like what I imagined it would be when I was younger. When I was 22, 21, I had a girlfriend at the time who I thought I was going to marry and have like 4 kids by the time I was like 32. Like that was all I was thinking about. I was like, yo, I'm going to get a job, we can get married, and we want a whole bunch of kids and live our lives like in Oceanside and be fine. But like life has a funny way of taking the plans you have and kind of laughing at them and reformulating ways that make more sense. And I was back at the different things, the different rejections I had. And I realized they're not rejections, they were reroutes. It wasn't a curve, it was someone saying like, you know, there's a better way. You might not be ready for this yet. Right? So me not getting a job at Nike, me not staying at Pepsi, Carrigan not looking out because we ain't falling out, streetwear kind of dying off. Streetwear dying off forced me to go back to school, right? Because at Pepsi, it just started killing me. We had a falling out, and I was like, look, I'm tired of working CPG or consumer packaged goods. I want something else. And I got the industry, and I thought that was what I wanted to do. Moved to the Bay, got a job in tech. It was amazing at first, and I was like, you know, this is not enough. And I ran into Nico randomly, again, after knowing about it for years. We lived on the street with each other. Had no idea we lived on the street with each other, right? And now we're together every single day just creating dope shit. So nothing that's happened to me has been planned. And it's been better that way because I realize that as humans, the plans we make for ourselves are often not big enough, right? And so the plans that I'm doing, things I'm doing now are way bigger than I expected myself. And I'm so happy about it.
Shit, man. Very articulate how you explain that. That was dope. Oh shit. What else I wanted to ask? Oh, I know you done a lot of traveling around the country. So like, what's your favorite city outside of California?
I wanted to say Chicago, but it's not Chicago because Chicago's too segregated for me. So like, great food, but I'm like, nah, and it gets too cold. It's probably a tie between Atlanta and Brooklyn. Probably my 2 favorite cities outside of California. Brooklyn is just like, it's so vibrant, right? Especially when it gets like biker parts, like you're going like to Brownsville and stuff. Like,
I'm about to be there.
It's so vibrant, so full of life, and so full of like black people who have been there for like years, right? And they haven't been touched by gentrification yet. So that's my favorite city. Great food, the people are dope, and the people are unapologetically themselves. I would see that Oakland is like the West Coast Brooklyn.
That's what my dad told. That's what my dad told me.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, quick question. I'm going to Brooklyn this upcoming week. Where's the first food place I should hit up?
And the thing is, I consider myself the Yelp of my homies.
That's tight.
Yes, I brought extensive reviews on Yelp. Check me out. I joke with you, they're hilarious. Check those out. Off the top of my head, nothing comes to mind actually. Not off the top of my head. I'll have to get back with the list because I have a list for every city I've ever been to. And I can share that list with you after the fact. But
no problem.
There's a couple like mom and pop. There's a Peruvian spot that I really like out there. Has the plantains. That goes with their food. It's really good. They have like Peruvian sandwiches. Food dope. There's of course the brunch spots with fried chicken and waffles. Fried chicken and waffles is my shit whenever I go to brunch. There is one place that has amazing donuts, and I'm talking like the wild flavors. And they'd be like, "Yo, this is tangerine vanilla with raspberry redux," and I'm like, "Yo, I don't know any of that means, but it's amazing."
That sounds fire.
And is that all is that all Brooklyn or just New York in general? The food that you were just speaking on right now.
That's just Brooklyn in general.
That's
My
Brooklyn.
favorite spot in New
Brooklyn's
York.
big.
My favorite spot in New York is this place called Trattoria. And I've wanted to, it's in Lower East Side, LES. And I wanted to randomly just on a whim while I got in these bathrooms. Last time I was out there, like last October. And I walked in, and I was like, "Oh, this smells amazing." And basically what they sell there are these things which simply described as like giant Hot Pockets, but not like, they're basically high-class Hot Pockets. But it's like in a triangle. And they have all kinds of fillings in them. Like the one I had was like lamb and something else. And I turned around and I was like, "Yo, this is amazing. I'm tasting it." I look on the door, and it says like Action Bronson has been here. Fuck, that's delicious.
Oh, so it got the
I
stamp.
was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "This is perfect. This is perfect." I had no idea.
Nice.
So
the dude comes out and he's like showing us how the bread is made. He's like
That's
cutting it up
dope.
for us. He's like, "Yo, I make this bread. It takes a week to make the bread." I'm like, "Yo, I can't even."
Story.
Hey man, I'm getting hungry right now. Shit.
Right. That's
So
why
is
that's
that like a hole in the wall spot or like an actual like restaurant, like chain
No,
type restaurant?
it's like a hole in the wall spot. You're not
Yeah,
gonna
those
notice
are the
it.
best.
It's not a hole in the wall. It's mom and pop, but you're not gonna notice it unless you're walking by.
Yeah.
Mom and
Right.
pops are the best.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
and there's only two of them in the world. There's one in Italy, and there's one
Damn.
in
Get the
LES.
fuck out of
Damn.
here.
That's what's up.
I forgot. There's one aspect about you that I didn't get to touch on. Your writing. You've had done freelance writing as well. For what websites?
So I actually had met Zach because I was writing for Varsity Standouts, which is like his site, and also like I write on the side for Maron, which is my site as well. And so I've had some great experiences. Like I wrote a 10-year anniversary piece after Below the Heavens dropped. I don't know if you guys are big Blue fans.
Blue? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So I was at the 10-year anniversary show, and it was kind of surreal because I was like in the green room because I know X, and I was like in the room finishing the piece, and like Blue was like sitting like across on the couch and like working on the set list, and I was like writing this out. He's like, "What you working?" I was like, "Actually, I'm writing a piece of like, my guy," and I never actually met him. So that was how much things. And I've written things on sports, everything from Colin Kaepernick, which runs for Owens, got shafted for the Hall of Fame last year.
Yeah.
Retired. To when Richard Sherman went All Lives Matter on us, like last couple years back.
Yeah.
So
Man,
man.
go ahead.
What I was about to say. Oh yeah, go ahead, finish your thought because I just want to ask you when you're finished. Ask you about the Madden controversy, about censoring. Censoring Kaepernick's name, bleeping his name out like it's a curse word, and then also like you go to the older Madden games, they're like blocking this whole image out.
I saw that. I thought it was a joke. I was like, no, it's real. It's really, really real.
That's so crazy.
That's crazy. Like, I feel like that's when people are too eager to please people who put money in their pockets. Right?
Yeah.
They're probably like, whatever the NFL wants, we're going to do it. And so they went over and beyond to kind of make the NFL happy when it's like really wasn't necessary. Because all that does is draw more attention to it. Right? It's kind of like when, the NFL made that new rule about, not you have to be out there standing for the anthem. If they hadn't said anything, like the controversy was going to peter out on its own in a real way.
Yeah.
Like players weren't kneeling as much, they weren't protesting as much during that time. and then it gone down. Then the NFL started talking about it again, then it blew up again, right?
So they
the
shot
owners are
themselves in the
own
foot
big-
with that.
Yep. That's what they get for trying to win press conferences. It's kind of like the NCAA when it comes to athletes. They try to win press conferences and end up looking stupid.
Dang. And then shit, what else I was about to say? You know, I feel like now they're just alienating, you know, basically us. You know, I think, you know, brothers ain't gonna be playing Madden as much. NBA 2K is gonna skyrocket like much, and I think now like NBA is gonna tap into the African market as well. So, you know, so they're gonna have like more better relations with black people in the motherland. So it's like checkmate NFL. NBA is gonna be around here. NFL, man, like, and in me, I'm a football fan, dude. I love football, but I can't really be emotionally invested. You know, I love my Raiders, even though I grew up in San Diego, yes, but I'm a Raiders fan. So, me looking forward to the season, I'm just like, you know, I just rather watch boxing or something, you know, to kill the time. Boxing or some MMA, something violent besides football.
Violent.
No, I feel you. I played football all season. Like, football is my first love, always and forever. It definitely pulls on me at times. To be like, be completely honest, from like, should I be still watching this? Right?
Well, you gotta imagine being a Cowboys fan because Jerry Jones told the slave master told him like, you better come out here, boy. And I wonder if you're a black Cowboys fan and you still rocking that star. Does that make you a sellout? Like black Cowboys fans really gotta look at themselves in the mirror before they put that star on their on their beanie or their jacket or them jerseys on. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just raising the question. I'm just raising the question for black Cowboys fans. I'm not concerned about that.
Well, I feel like because I was on a panel. Like the HuffPost Live. Like,
I was also a humble brag right there because I'm going to be a panel. I'm going to be on the
humble brag because they randomly found me. They randomly found me last season. I ain't shit. I'm trash. So that right now. But like the panel was about R. Kelly. It was like a couple years back.
Oh,
Kelly.
Man, that guy.
Be a fan of R. Kelly. Year 2016.
I didn't want to hear you for 19 minutes talking about some shit, dancing around like the real shit for 19 minutes, nigga. Like you went around, you danced around a lot of shit for 19 minutes. I never seen somebody dance around some real shit for 19 minutes ever in my life. Damn.
That's crazy. It's crazy. But like, I think the thing is, like, at the time, my point was. That there are so many things that we ignore and don't actually do or display, like whatever, because we like them, right? You know, whether it be buying sneakers from companies that use labor that's sweatshop labor, or buying food from sources that, you know, pay unlivable wages and take advantage of the farmers and underserved countries. There's so many things that we do that are antithetical our supposed morals and beliefs on an everyday basis. So my thing is always like, yo, hey, you know, work out your own rights, right? That being said, I draw the line when it's something that's actually physically harming somebody in some way. So when it comes to R. Kelly pissing on girls, when it comes to R. Kelly like kidnapping basically women and keeping them in the house and you let it go. When it comes to the Cowboys, I'm just like, I wouldn't do it. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, hey, yo, bro, you become a fraud and a phony.
Yeah.
You still rocking Cowboys. You know? Like, I'm like, all right, bro, I don't really rock with them, and I think that's kind of wild that you are. But I'm just trying to do some things that are out of pocket myself. Because the only way you're gonna avoid doing something that's wrong, based off the source, is if you go live on an island by yourself and make all your own clothes and farm all your own food. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
But shoot, man, I just want to say thank you for your time, man. And before we get into our shout outs and parting words, man, where can they find you? What's your social handles, man?
You can find me at Jotham Creatives is the website. You can find me at Jotham Kitara, so Jotham Kitara. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter. Follow me for all the hot takes on sports, politics, and food, if you will. Me calling everybody trash and myself trash.
Right.
And then getting off some fire photos on the gram, trying to attract the future Mrs. Kabuye. Who knows?
Hey, shoot your shot.
Hey, man. Hey, you hit her. Slide in that DM once you get that blue check on your Instagram account.
Ask her if she wants a smoothie.
Look, I'll be the first to know. I'm like, yo, bring back on the pod. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Finish responding to my DMs. Oh, what's good?
Oh,
Right.
okay. So you're gonna give us that exclusive. That's what's up. And it's crazy that you mentioned the Bay, dude, because like when we look at our analytics, like the Bay fucks with us, even though we have a small audience, but the Bay fucks with us though. So I get surprised that they fuck with us out there.
The Bay is supportive of dope shit. I'll say that the Bay is very supportive of dope shit. Like more so than like San Diego and LA in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go to a Bay Area party, and everybody knows all the local cuts, all of them.
That's
right?
what's up.
That's
Word
dope.
for word, they're bouncing, they're gigging, and all that. I go to LA spot, I go to San Diego spot. That's not the case. They're not gonna know local rapper X, right? They won't.
Mm-hmm.
Bay Area, they all know all the songs. At least one I've never heard of. Like, you ever heard of this one? Nah, bro. He's like, oh, he's fire.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start off with our shout outs, man. We're gonna have our guy Kmart kick it off with the shout outs.
Shout out to me. I appreciate everybody who listens to this podcast. You could be anywhere in the world,
This guy.
but you're here with me. I deeply appreciate that.
All right. We're gonna have you go last, Joe, because you're the guest of honor.
Oh, man. Y'all give me too much respect.
Too much respect.
All right, that's what Emizi. I think it's Emizi.
Shout out to Monica. People that know who that is. Shout out to our guest. Shout out to you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you for being a guest on the show. I gotta link up with you, bro. We gotta go hit up some restaurants.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I swear I'm in down south at least once a month, so we can link up. So it's whatever.
All right, for sure. Go ahead, Nessa.
Yeah, shout out to our guests as well. This is our first over the phone, right?
An official over the phone
guest.
Interview
interview for
Interview, yeah.
yeah. So shout out to you for being the first, for that.
Now don't go Ray J on us.
And also shout out to myself as well. Not on no Kenlin stuff, but just
There you go.
I'm just like I'm grinding. I got a few things that I'm working on. Kind of like keeping it private, kind of keeping it in the background right now, but I got a few things that I'm actually surprised about. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Oh, all right. All right. I want to give a shout out to the young man, David Cesares. He was out there in Silicon Valley trying to make it in the tech industry. He graduated out of Texas A&M as a web developer. He had a great paying job. He got laid off, and eventually he became homeless. So instead of hitting the streets to panhandle, he was panhandling these resumes.
Hey.
And now he's getting job offers. Now he's getting job offers from like Netflix, Amazon. Like he's getting a lot of job offers because of that. The news put him out there.
That's what's
so
up.
he went out there looking for an opportunity. He wasn't looking for a handout.
That's
So
what's
and
up.
that's the type of shit that I like. I fucks with that. So shout outs to the young man, the computer programmer, because out there in Silicon Valley, you gotta know how to do something out there like that. Because if you don't, homie, what the fuck you doing out there? So yeah, Joe, you can go ahead and kick it off with your shout outs, your parting words, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, thank you for having me on this pod, man. I had a lot of fun with y'all. This is something I've never done before in my life, which is why I really wanted to do it. That being said, shout out to Chick-fil-A, which is my favorite thing to do. Reverse shout out to the Nike Sneakers app because I always lose on there. And Shouts out to my business partner Nico for putting up with me and my fast. And shouts to y'all for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, definitely, man. It's our honor, man. So,
Sorry, really quick. You said Chick-fil-A because what? That's your favorite food spot?
oh, you said you gave a shout out to Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
You said because that's your favorite food spot?
It's not my favorite food spot, but it's so comforting and good.
It's comforting
I'm
and
going
good.
there.
Our videographer, she works for them, so that's why I thought. I was like, did I hear Chick-fil-A? She's right here
she works
too.
for them?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
right here.
Tell her to holler at me. Tell her what's good. You know what I'm saying? If it needs to be the spokesman, needs to be in a commercial, I got you. If, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
We'll let her know.
So,
We'll let her
yeah,
know.
we'll shoot her Instagram account. You can hit her
Yeah.
and thank her. You know, she's Jamaican, so she works hard out here.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. She's probably got like 15 jobs. Like,
She do.
she's probably driving Uber as we speak from the house.
Hey, she doing tech
Yeah.
too.
And
Videos,
she
photographs,
doing- yeah.
going to school. She doing it all.
Yeah, see, and I always joke about.
What's good? What's poppin'?
He said, she's single. What's good? What's popping? She's in a relationship.
Yeah.
She's in a relationship.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
She's accounted for.
Love is amazing.
He said, "Love is amazing." Oh
That's
man.
what's up.
Man, you know, sometimes I always joke about toxic masculinity. I always say like the way my toxic masculinity is set up, but I have a woman videographer. So if motherfuckers ever try to troll me on that bullshit, I'm like, nah, homie, follow the receipts. It's all in the podcast, motherfucker. It's all jokes, sensitive folks. But man,
We really,
I'm gonna use that later on.
Straight up.
we appreciate you though.
man, we appreciate you, man. But yeah, dude, we gotta hit you up, and we're gonna connect, man. So, man, I'll get at you. Give me all your social, handles, and I'll spell it out for you in the description so people can hit you up. But yeah, but other than
Yeah,
that, man, thank you for coming aboard, and man, I'll get at you later.
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good one.
Yep.
All right, man. So that was Joe. He's a pretty cool cat. Got to meet up with him, link up with him in the
Yeah,
future.
that'd be dope.
Yeah, I'm
So-
gonna be in the Bay in September, so.
So yeah, hit him up. You follow him on Twitter. You
Yeah,
know?
I'm gonna link up with him
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah,
He
play,
gonna-
he,
gonna-
like,
he gonna-
he likes to play
he gonna
ball
be invited
too.
to R&B only. Hey man, come out to R&B
Hey,
only.
yeah,
dog.
definitely.
See, hey man, we building.
Right?
So man, I felt good.
I'm
But
a-
he
I'm
said
a-
that this was his first time being
Yeah.
on a podcast.
Yeah.
Shit, look at us. Okay.
Yeah. Shout
Help
outs to
me
Zach.
help you.
Shout outs to Zach.
Zach.
Connecting
Yeah,
the dots.
definitely.
The Feds.
The
Oh,
feds.
the feds.
Zach,
Definitely.
aka the feds, man.
Central Intelligence.
Oh man, so if you enjoy listening to this podcast as much as we love making it, because we do what we love and love what we do, and if you're not being your motherfucking self, you know what I gotta say.
The jig is up.
And we out. Thank you for listening.
He said, who getting him,
Whatever.
hemmed up?
Yeah, you heard the sirens. Who getting hemmed up? That's the first thing he said. That's